Hello guys, my name is Dr. Nadeem Khan. Today I will going to explain renal stone treatments. In this video I will explain the renal stone treatments and medications, which medications used in these treatments, what is the mechanism of that medicines, how the renal stone patient present to you, how you can recognize what is the symptom of the renal stone, which investigation you will prescribe to confirm the renal stone treatments. Let's go. Basically, the renal stone patient when come to your clinic, then it complains first pain in lumbar region, which radiates to back, and the patient also complains fever, dizziness, vomiting, and hematuria or blood in urine. So why the renal stone patients develop fever or pain? Let's explain. For example, this is cell. This is our kidney. This is our kidney. We take one cell from kidney. We take one cell from the kidney, and here our renal stone present, which damage the cell of the renal. So that when this stone damage the cells, first it damage its membrane, which is made by phospholipid. When this phospholipid membrane rupture, it releases the phospholipid, which convert to arachidonic acid by phospholipase A2. This arachidonic acid convert into prostaglandin H2. Then this prostaglandin also further make many prostaglandin, that is prostaglandin D2, prostaglandin E2, prostaglandin I2, prostaglandin G2, which lead to fever and pain to the patient. Basically, prostaglandin E2, which is responsible fever and pain. And when you confirm the renal stone, that patient have the renal stone, then you should also prescribe some investigation like ultrasonography, some investigation like ultrasonography and non-contrast CT scan, which also further confirm the renal stone. When you confirm finally that patient have the renal stone, then this report also explain the size of the renal stone. If the patient have less than 5 millimeter stone, then you should give the plenty of water to the patients or intravenous fluids which wash out the renal stone from the kidney through the urine. And if the stone more than 5 millimeter or they are not washed out by the intravenous fluid or plenty of water, then you should prescribe some medications that uses in the treatment of the renal stone. The first medications ketorolic acid, MGBD or tramadol. Five mg BD or IM or IV 50 mg ml. Both drugs are used as a painkiller. I will explain the mechanism of all the drugs. Now I will explain some other medication also which is used in the treatment of the renal stone. And tamsulosin, which is alpha-1 adrenergic antagonism. Basically, we know that this alpha-1 receptor present into the prostate, our bladder and ureter. When this receptor blocks, then in this prostate and bladder and ureter dilatation occurs. So stone if present into the prostate, near to the prostate, bladder, ureter, they easily pass. So let's go to the mechanism of all the drugs, how these drugs work, which receptor they are work, what is the mechanism of the drugs. So here in the diagram you can see here. So first I will explain what is the normal mechanism of this receptor. Then I will explain what is the mechanism of the drugs, how this tamsulosin work in this receptor. When our bladder fills, it gives the signal to the brain, then brain release some chemicals like norepinephrine, which bind to the alpha-1 adrenergic receptor, which is G-protein coupled receptor. G-protein coupled receptor which contains three components alpha, beta, gamma. When this norepinephrine bind to this receptor, it G-protein coupled receptor alpha-1 segment which separate from other segment and goes to the phospholipid C, and it give to the signal this phospholipid C, which convert phospholipid inositol into diacylglycerol and inositol triphosphate. This diacylglycerol give signal to the sarcoplasmic reticulum, which releases the calcium, and also phospholipid C give signal to the phosphokinase C, and also gives signal to this calcium channel. So more calcium coming into the cells, the more calcium comes from the sarcoplasmic reticulum, so and it lead to contraction, and the patient goes to urination, or ureter also contracts, prostate also contracts. So it lead to contraction of the bladder, prostate, ureter, all the things. When we give the temsulation to the patient, it block this receptor. Then non-epinephrine does not bind to the receptor, then phospholipid C does not activate it, the contraction does not occur. G protein coupled receptor alpha segment does not separate because this receptor not activated, because temsulation block this receptor. Then phospholipid C does not activate, and phospholipid inositol does not convert into diacyl glycerol and inositol triphosphate. Phosphokinase also does not activated. Calcium channel also blocks, does not open, it remain blocked. Sarcoplasmic reticulum also remain blocked, because this process all are not happening, and it lead to relaxation of the smooth muscles, and patient bladder, ureter and prostate easily open, wide open, and some stone present into there, they easily remove from there. And next drug our tramadol. Here you can see some diagram. So first I will explain the mechanism of the pain, how the patient perceives the pain. Then I will explain the drug of tramadol, how it's work. But when the cell damage, it lead to phospholipid releasing, which lead to arachidonic acid. I will explain the whole the things. Arachidonic acid, then prostaglandin H2, which convert T2, D2, I2, G2, which lead to fever, pain. All the process happening here. And this signal goes to the dorsal root ganglion into the spinal cord. In the spinal cord there is some area that is known as the substantia gelatinosa. From here the signal through the ascending tracts, it goes to the brain, into the somatosensory cortex, where it perceives the pain, and through the descending tracts it brings send signal to the spinal cord. The signal come into the substantia gelatinosa and give to the signal to the muscles, or where patient have the cut or needle or injury, needle pick or injury, a patient have pain. What happen in the dorsal root ganglion or substantia gelatinosa? Why the patient feel the pain? When the patient through the descending tract, brain send the signal. This descending neuron releases non-epinephrine, which invade the substance P release, which is responsible for the pain. So our tramadol act at the substantia gelatinosa. This is selective non also it is selective non serotonin non-epinephrine reuptake inhibitor. So this tramadol inhibit that receptor that is present here, reuptake. It inhibits the reuptake of the non-epinephrine. So non-epinephrine level increases here. It gives signal to this dorsal root ganglion, then it stops the substance P release. The patient does not feel the pain. This is mechanism of the tramadol. Now some points we can note here about tramadol. So tramadol it is selective non-epinephrine inhibitor. It is used for moderate pain. It is contraindicated in biliary colic pain and headache. Why it is